are you a sergeant in the army?
Yes, I am.
Please tell me about your understanding of what morale is.
I think morale is the mindset of yourself and the team you work with, whether it be positive or negative. That's kind of my understanding of it.
So very much within your own being.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and it's how you feel as an individual.
Yeah.
What, in your experience, are the things that increase or decrease your morale at work?
Feeling valued definitely increases morale. If you feel like you're doing something worthwhile, then you can go home happy, like put yourself a gin and tonic, put your feet up and go, yes, I've achieved my aim for today. Obviously decreasing is the opposite, feeling like, why am I here, what am I doing, this is such a waste of time. And seeing people not being used for their worth as such. They can achieve so much more, but not being utilised as such.
So can you think of a time when your morale was particularly high or particularly low, and why?
I can think of a time when it's particularly low because it's right now.
Really?
I'm a paramedic with a lot of operational experience who's been desperately trying to come to the school to teach phase 2 or 3 or even DDT for quite some time, and I'm working in the DMAP department.
So you're doing stuff completely outside of...
Yeah, I'm doing computers. So I don't feel valued at all. I'm not being utilised. I've worked hard to get the qualification I've got. And I'm just sat twiddling my thumbs, staring at a computer screen, thinking, what the hell am I doing? How can I tell these kids that are coming through here, work hard, do what you can, get yourself on the paramedic course, because you could be me.
I understand. Yeah. What about high?
High, probably not so much as a sergeant, but as a full screw, massively so. When you were part of a team with, I've worked with the infantry a lot, so being part of a company A post or a regimental A post and working with the lads out on the ground on tour. It's always been on tour or an exercise.
It's interesting. So when you're on tour, you suffer hardships, and some of it is pretty unpleasant. Can you explain why your morale's so high?
I think because you pull together and you find the positives more. Because you haven't got the distractions of everyday life. You haven't got your mobile phone, you haven't got the TV, you haven't got the news going on, but what you have got is what you're trained to do, and you're focused on that. So every one of those guys in that company were like little brothers to me, and I took it that's why I was older than them, so they weren't like brothers. So you take it a lot more personally, and I knew that I was trained as well as I could be, and I'd gone out and sought extra training, and I'd sourced it from people around me, and I knew I was in the right place to help those guys if anything happened to them, and they trusted me. So that made me feel good, and I hope they felt the same, knowing that, well, Kelly, she's there, she's going to help us, and we can get through this. And it's just keeping people's chins up, isn't it? And yeah, we had a bit of a crap day. Should we have a brew? We'll have a game of cards and we'll shoot the shit, and and just being at that level. And
so almost the exact opposite to what you are now.
Yeah, probably. Completely stripped bare.
So you've got all the comforts that you could possibly have, but not the purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you increase morale within your team?
I'm a bit of a joker, so I try and make people smile as much as I can. I'm working with civilians at the moment who don't really get my banter. So it's a little bit awkward. Especially one of them whose second language is English, so she doesn't really get the... But I try. But there's things like... my life's changed a lot recently. I've become a mother, so my morale is sort of with my daughter and my husband now. So things are positive at home. It's a lot more positive when I come to work. If I've had a bad day at home, I'm not so positive when I come to work. But you can change that round by, going, right, okay, I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to have a good day, and I'm going to go home with a positive attitude. And I think it's the work-life balance.
So yeah, that's really interesting that you're talking about home life and work life. So your work morale is low. When your work morale is low, are you still willing to work hard at work?
Wanting to, yeah. So I really want to work hard. I searched. I think the good thing about being here is there are lots of different departments, so I kind of skulk around different departments going, need any help? Can I do anything to help anybody? And so just seeking it out and trying to...
How do you gauge morale in your team?
Really rock bottom. I've just spent 2 hours talking 2 civilians off a ledge.
So you just talk to people and you find out if they're high or low? And
yeah. Well, I think you can kind of look at somebody and gauge it, can't you? And just see how they interact with people and just say, come on, tell us what's going on.
Would you describe your team as a cohesive one?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So you wouldn't deploy with them?
God, no, thankfully. Well, they're civilian, but no, thankfully not. But I wouldn't, no. We've got a bad manager. We've got a micromanager, which obviously has a knock-on effect with the rest of the team and morale. And
we might come on to that later.
Okay.
Do you believe in what you're doing in the army is for a greater good or a noble cause?
No. Used to be. When I used to be a medic, yeah.
But not currently?
Not so much now.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to work with Phase 3 at the beginning of the week on their Class 1 course. And I actually, for the first time I started here in July. For the first time since July, I felt worthwhile. And I felt valued and I felt like I'd actually contributed. And that's why I wanted to come here, because in the past few years I have worked with some really atrocious medics. And I thought, I can't sit there and say, they're crap, they're crap, they're crap. If I want to do something about it, I need to go to source. So that was my view of coming here. But working with the Class 1 course this week, I actually went home and went, do you know what? I feel like I've accomplished something. And my morale was really high, but then unfortunately I had to come back to my team and go, oh well, there it goes.
So within your team, can you see the connection between what you do in that team and a delivery of a positive?
I can. So the computer system we work on as a medic, you work on it quite a lot through like tri-service. But the ongoing argument I've got with my boss is, I've worked on this for 10 years. I know this system. I think this is wrong. I think that's wrong. I think maybe if we come at this angle. And I had a 2-hour meeting with him the other day, of which I was told to wind my neck in, and the course wouldn't change, and that's it.
Okay. Do you believe you're trained enough to do what is asked of you?
In my current job role, probably not. I've really trained myself on the system I'm now teaching.
Yeah.
But as a medic, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think it's easy to accomplish that in my job, because the pathways are there. You've just got to be ballsy enough to go and follow them, and if you want it, you'll do it.
When was the last time you were allowed to develop yourself at work, professionally or otherwise, then?
I can't remember. It would have been... I actually can't remember the last time.
That's okay. Yeah. So why is that? Not poor memory, just why?
No, really bad memory. It's the gin. I don't know. I think there's lack of understanding from my management of my job and of my trade and of my qualification. So this week I was supposed to be on battles. I was stopped doing that because he didn't seem it necessary. However, I'm a medic, I'm a paramedic, I need to do CPD, I need to do CCE, and so...
Okay. So it's difficult because it's the understanding. And
I think so.
Not so much a restraint of resources.
We're overmanned. So
okay.
No. Yeah, only department in the school, I think, but yeah, we're overmanned.
Would you describe the organisation in which you work in, a well-disciplined one?
Yeah, I think so. It has to be, doesn't it? It's Phase 2 establishment, so I think so. From what I've seen of it so far.
Okay.
Quite ambiguous, isn't
it? Yeah, what about the broader army? Well-disciplined?
Probably not so much as when I joined.
Go on.
I was terrified up until probably... Until I was a Lance Corporal, I probably wouldn't have spoken to a sergeant unless they spoke to me. But it's just the way things were. But you had respect for people. You had respect for the senior privates in your squadron, let alone the junior